Well, hey Sparks, good morning. I'm having a great conversation with our son Julian about doing work. He's 13 years old, almost becoming an Eagle Scout, but he's not doing his last step, right? Maybe he's not ready. He's not defining the project to be an Eagle Scout, and so I have a conversation about it. And I told him, like, listen, if I didn't know that you could do it, or that you have all the skills required for you to complete the journey, I would not encourage you. I would not push you. I'm sorry, I would encourage you, but I cannot push you, because if you're not ready, you're not ready, right? So don't push people who are not ready. Encourage those who may not be ready, but sometimes if you see people got everything that it takes, right? Like the guy with a parachute standing on a plane like this, yeah, give him a gentle push, right? Because he may just need a little add-on and the courage. But that brought up different topic, and I told him, like, listen, you're actually a very, very special kind of person, very mature for your age, had so many different experiences, never actually been to public school system, right? Because our youngest son, we chose to home educate when his brother was graduating from the VPK at the age of 4, and so our youngest son Julian actually never went to school system. He's been part of different learning experiences, but he is way ahead of the curve compared to other peers in so many different markers. And number one is just having common sense. He's got a fantastic sense of, what is right, what is wrong, and like what makes sense and things like this, right? Which is the goal, right? Build a common sense. And I told him, like, maybe you might want to go and study somebody like Donald Trump when he was 20, 30 years old, because from the snippets that I've gathered, that I've seen, it appears to me that Donald Trump actually is a genius. How he behaved, how mature he was, how he handled the responsibility. Yeah, maybe he did get some money to start out with, but he didn't blow it all, right? And some of us, we inherit little and we blow it all, and he was given a lot, but it's still there, right? He multiplies, and I'm not judging the outcome because I'm not in his shoes. But I heard his thoughts. I saw his manners, and from what I've seen him, and what I see in society today, I think that he actually is straight as a genius. And now, 7, 8 years old, president twice. I'm not looking at a person based on everything they've done right and wrong. I'm just looking at overall. He's an extremely successful person, period. You really cannot deny that. So, so I encourage him to go and look at that. And we talk about the challenge of our current to system, and the challenge with that, it forces you, our current education system is forcing you to be a certain age, because our system is forcing you to be a certain level of maturity just because of your age. Well, now you're 8th grader, so you should be able to do this. Okay, well, now you're senior college, you should be doing this. And that is really baloney, right? If you're mature enough to work, you should go to work. In a school system, traditional school system, somebody might say, well, wow, you're really smart. Well, let me give you some advanced classes. Well, you're still in the preparation stage. You're not supposed to be in preparation stage for too long. What happens is that we accidentally develop a system that prolongs preparation stage until people are truly ready for this big world with jobs and all these things. And it doesn't work that way. It fails to account for the fact that school is just a preparation for life. It's not a preparation for a complete life. Most of the learning actually will take place after people leave the school systems and start to learn on the job, in the society, and all these things. That's where most of the learning really takes place. So try to convince somebody that, well, now you got this degree, you know what you're doing. That's set up for the failure. They come with the wrong expectation of who they are. They think, well, I'm smart, I know it all, and you've done a lot of things. It's not your fault that the system held you back until way past your application age, because you were forced to stay in a classroom. And now when you finally 18 or 20, 25 years old, you're not hungry, man. You're desperate because you know you've been held back by extra 10, 15 years where you could have produced something already, but you've been just sharpening pencils and learning classes, and 90% of which you really don't need. There was a time that 12, 14 years old were running businesses. So what makes today's children so special? Are we really that stupid today that it takes 35-year-old to run a small business, while 200 years ago it was only a 12-year-old? Right? It's our system that's doing that. We're delaying people in preparation stage. It's no different when you go and play a game. You want to be a player or something, and coach says, okay, well now fans are here, everybody's in bleachers, guys, now let's go. But you're not ready, you gotta stay on the bench for another 2 hours, at least to a halftime. Like, we need players, man. Yeah, but you're not ready. You know, do you see how hard the other players are? You know, so let's just watch what they do. Let's just watch them play first, and then you know, we'll give you a try. And if it's too hard, we'll pull you back and we'll take you through another training, and maybe we'll send you back for the last 10 minutes. Dude, you already lost the game. You already lost the game. Yeah, I totally believe that you need to prepare twice harder behind the scene than it takes to actually be in the activation phase of whatever you do. But I'm telling everybody, guys, we're fostering dependency, because the people who stay too long in preparation stage, and I'm telling you something, sharpening pencil until you're 20, 25 years old is just way, way too long. All right? All it does, it enables this, it fosters this feeling of, well, I just do enough, I need to learn more. Because so far, for the first, you know, the entire life until age of 20, 25, you've been convinced that you need preparation, you need training, you need education, and all these things. And we neglect the action. Based on Dale Carnegie, purpose of education is action, right? So you should be only educating until you're ready to act. But if the system itself is convincing you that you're not ready to act, you're not even allowed to act in many cases, like a nurse, engineer, things like this, or doctor, right? You're not even allowed to act, which, you know, it's stupid, because if I'm sick somewhere in a car accident and I have a medical student who comes by and he says, you know, and I'm all messed up and he's my only chance to live, and you know, he'd be like, I'm sorry, but I haven't done my boards yet, I'm not full doctor, I'm just in a residency, I cannot touch you. Like, seriously? No, you take what you got and you do best with it, and that's how it should be. All right, so enough of preaching. Again, I encourage my son to go and study somebody like Donald Trump, you know, how they behave, right? Look at these people. So you have a good benchmark for the health, for what a healthy, successful individual actually look like in a certain season. And to everybody else, I encourage you to take some action. Don't wait until you're 18, 20 years old to start a business or pursue a skill or trade or something like this. I encourage you to start today. I see so many college students working for jobs like for the bank or coffee shops, and I tell them, well, clearly this is not the only dream that you had in life, right? And you know, what other gifts do you have? Well, I'll take photography one day. I tell them, you know what? Today is your day. Today is your day. All right? Well, I need to go to school to learn how to get a camera. Pictures. No, you got a smartphone yet? Have you taken pictures yet? Oh, I start to take pictures, right? But the school doesn't teach that. That's what we teach, because we finally understand how life really works. Don't wait. Start. And then you go and learn some more. But got to take the action first. Sparks Academy, thanks for being with us, supporting us. Home education at its best. Yes, I am driving, but I'm eye-focused on the road, because you can't be distracted by devices. Trying to share with them. Go Sparks.